What's going on, guys? It's Themightydart13. I'm back again, and this is my Formula 1 race review video for the final 11 Malaysian Grand Prix. First of all, I just want to very quickly apologise for this video being out a little bit later than normal. I mean, I normally try and get it out on the Monday, but I was way on for the weekend with Steph, so I didn't. The race was on at 7 o'clock in the morning, and we were just, there's no point, you know, it was about relaxing for me. So yeah, but moving on from that, obviously I've got my normal list of talking points, hence why I keep looking down in that corner, and I've also got the race result in front of me on my laptop. So before the race had even started, we had some big news in the fact that Pierre Gasly had replaced Daniel Kvyat at Toro Rosso. My thoughts on this is Kvyat has basically been, ever since he got taken out from Red Bull, so knocked down for Verstappen, he's been on borrowed time. He's not been fantastic this season. I believe the stats were the only teammate he did actually beat him was Daniel Ricciardo. So overall, it's a shame, but he wasn't the best driver. Pierre Gasly, he's a good young driver. I'm glad to see him in. Yeah, so overall, I'm glad to see Gasly in. As for your race results, very quickly, very quickly before I go through the race result, Ferrari had problems in quali with Sebastian Vettel, where he had car issues. From what I've found out and looking, he had a pipe on his turbo that led to his turbo explode, so that kind of fucked his engine. But to be fair, to give Vettel his due, he's a stroppy bastard most of the time, but he walked around and shook all his mechanics' hands to say sort of thank you for trying. And then when it got to the race, you had Kimi Räikkönen, who failed on the grid, didn't even start the race, and it's his first DNS since, I believe, 2005, which is the race where there was problems with the tyres for a few of the cars. But overall, race result-wise, you had a race win for Max Verstappen, followed by Lewis Hamilton and Daniel Ricciardo as your top three. Then you had Vettel, Bottas, Perez, Van Dorn, Stroll, Massa, Ocon, Alonso, Magnussen, Grosjean, Gasly, Palmer, Hulkenberg, Verline and Marcus Ericsson. As for your retirement, you only had Carlos Sainz and obviously Raikkonen, who did not start. Now, there was a few incidents during the race. The two main ones was Sainz hit Ocon. Ocon ended up backwards, and the funniest thing was the team was like, "Did he hit you?" And Ocon was like, "Well, yes. Did you not? You know, is this not obvious?" And they were like, "Well, you need to tell us." And the commentators, because I watched Channel 4 race things, and they were saying, "Well, the team don't always see it the first time round," and you do feel for Ocon in that way, because it's sort of the team are also saying to him, "Tell us," you know. But as for that, it was quite it was a racing incident, to be fair. And then towards the end of the race, or after the race had actually finished, you had Vettel and Stroll come together. Stroll was pulling out to the right to pick up rubber, as drivers do at the end of the race. And then he ended up crashing, or Vettel and him came together. Vettel ended up with his rear, rear left parked on the top of it, or it might have been rear right. One of his rear tyres was up on the car, and he sort of just said, "Well, what can you do? Like, seriously?" And then you had Stroll sort of saying, "Well, Vettel hit me." There's been no action taken on that. And then it was a funny moment. You had Pascal Wehrlein pull up next to him, and then it had Vettel going to go. Then he went back to put his steering wheel back in. Then went to go again. Then went back and got his steering wheel and put it in the Sauber cockpit. gave Verline the thumbs up and patted him on the helmet, saying thanks for giving us a lift back to the pits, and he jumped in. But overall, it was a very solid race. You know, as for Malaysia going, I am sad to see it go because it's been there all the F1 races I've watched, but the contract went out, which is a shame. But overall, I'm quite impressed with how the race was. I mean, Verstappen got an absolute was absolutely worldy off the start, sorry. And in the end, the gap between him and Hamilton was 12.7 seconds. Mercedes just weren't on the pace. I mean, that's shown by Bottas finishing 5th. But overall, it was disappointing for that. For the Mercedes, it was disappointing. But the fact that Vettel went from last on the grid to 4th is amazing. Excuse me, and just shows that if the Ferraris were running, then they could have challenged. They probably would have challenged for the win, if not won the race, because they were the fastest team for most of the weekend. But obviously, Max Verstappen won the day after his 20th birthday, and the guy's the same age as me, and he's winning Formula 1 races, which is mad. But overall, I'd rate the race a solid 6 or 7 out of 10. Next race is Japan, which is a favourite of mine. It's the only figure of 8 track on the calendar. It's a fantastic race. My top 3 prediction, I'm actually going to go Vettel, Hamilton, and I think Ricciardo. I think Verstappen's going to have another poor race where his car gets broken or something, or crashes or whatever. As for pole position, I'm going to go Hamilton. So controversial, but yeah, obviously leave your predictions down in the comment section down below. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Football vlogs will be returning this week. Dartford are at home to Bognor Regis, so I'll be going to that game. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Thank you for the amazing support. And yeah, don't forget to follow my socials. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.